We've spent the last month patching your internal OS. We've locked down your attention, reclaimed your sovereignty, and built a firewall against the digital mob. But there is a final, more dangerous trap waiting for you. The illusion of progress. In the 2020s, we have more productivity tools than any generation in history. We have AI agents that can schedule our lives, apps that track our every calorie, and dashboards that visualize our growth. But if you look closely at the data, we aren't getting more done. We're just getting better at feeling like we're getting more done. Seneca once wrote, "We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them." If Seneca saw your calendar, he'd probably delete half of it. He understood that busyness is often just a high-tech form of laziness. It's easier to optimize a workflow than it is to do the actual work. It's easier to read a book on Stoicism than it is to actually remain calm when your server crashes or your flight is canceled. Today, we install the execution protocol. We are moving from the theory phase to the action phase. This is how you stop being a consumer of philosophy and start being an architect of reality. Lesson 1. The death of someday. Marcus Aurelius was a fan of a very simple, very brutal question. Why not now? We are masters of someday. We save videos to watch later. We bookmark articles for when we have time. We tell ourselves we'll start that project once the AI gets just a little bit better. This is a biological bug called procrastination by preparation. The Stoic knows that later is a landscape that doesn't exist. You are currently living in the only moment where action is possible. If your system update for your life has been stuck at 99% for 3 months because you're still researching, the update has failed. The architect of action doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. He uses the tools he has, however blunt they may be. Stop preparing to live. Start living. Lesson 2. Memento mori. Your to-do list. You probably have a task list that is 3 miles long. Today, the world presents everything as urgent. Every email, every ping, every breaking news alert demands your immediate attention. Apply the death filter. If you knew your system was going to be permanently offline by the end of the week, how many of those tasks would you actually care about? Sovereignty in execution means having the courage to look at a high-priority task and realize it's actually trivial. Most of what you do is just digital busy work, designed to keep your mind occupied so you don't have to face the terrifying reality of your own potential. Cut the list. If it doesn't contribute to your character or your primary purpose, it's just noise in the machine. Lesson 3. High bandwidth deep work. We live in a low bandwidth world. We switch tabs every 40 seconds. We check our phones while we're working. We are multitasking, which is just a fancy way of saying we're doing 5 things poorly at the same time. The Roman mind was built for deep work. When a Stoic focused, they built aqueducts that still stand today. When a mind focuses, it usually ends up looking at a meme of a cat wearing a space helmet. Execution requires the deep work citadel. You must create a space, both physical and digital, where the bandwidth is 100% dedicated to one stream. No notifications, no quick checks, just raw, uninterrupted output. 1 hour of deep work is worth 10 hours of optimized distraction. Lesson 4. Effort versus outcome. One of the core pillars of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. You control the effort. You do not control the outcome. We are obsessed with outcomes because the metrics are everywhere. We want the likes, the revenue, the viral hit. But the moment you start working for the outcome, you lose your power. You become a slave to the market. The architect of action focuses entirely on the quality of the code. If the code is perfect, if your effort was honest and your focus was total, then the outcome is irrelevant. Whether the world cheers or ignores you, your job is done. You don't work for the like, you work for the logic. Lesson 5, the finished mindset. Marcus said, "Don't let your mind wander, but in every movement preserve the power of judgment." We have a habit of starting 10 things and finishing 0. We are exploring. We are pivoting. We are iterating. The execution layer demands a kill switch for exploration. At some point, the research must end and the shipping must begin. A finished, imperfect project is infinitely more valuable to the world than a perfect idea that only exists in your drafts folder. The year is full of thinkers. The world is starving for doers. Patch your OS, close the tabs, execute the protocol. This is the Silicon Stoic. Like and subscribe to continue the OS update of your soul. Stay focused.